So welcome to the Coach Academy for November, and we are so excited to have you guys join the team. It's quite an amazing group. We've got a lot of new starters, and really I just want to share with you, lean into this group before I start presenting. When I started as a new coach 2.5 years ago, I was put into a pod much like this. And in fact, all of the coaches in my team at that point, just because my upline is actually from America, she's 8 hours behind me, they were all American. And I didn't let that stop me. I just lent into the community. I really tried to bond with those girls. I ran with them and we really supported one another. And I can promise you, hand on heart, if I hadn't taken that mindset into my coach business with those girls as they started in their business, I would not be where I am today, because I formed some incredible bonds. There's some bonds that have changed and grown as I have grown. But the support of those girls was really what gave me the confidence to believe that I could do this. Okay. And I just want to say, none of us are like super rainbow unicorns. We all start in the same place, right? And I know it can be really easy to look at someone that's really experienced and think, oh, well, I'll never be able to do that. And I certainly was that coach when I was new. But if you just trust the process, you trust us, and you do kind of the things that we tell you to do, even if they're scary, I can promise you the only thing that's going to come out of this experience, no matter what you decide you want to do with the coaching, is that you are going to experience the most incredible growth, both kind of physically with your strength, but more so mentally, personally, in your own confidence growth and self-belief. And that is one of the things I love the most about this opportunity, aside from the fact that I've managed to make it my full-time career because I decided I wanted to, and I don't ever have to work on anyone else's clock ever again. But I just wanted to share that. So just lean in. It's one of my favorite phrases, lean in, lean into this amazing community. So I'm just going to share the screen. So hopefully you guys are all going to be able to see this okay. Let me just get the presentation up. Let's go to present. So I'm going to be sharing some bits, and then Charlotte and Joe are also going to chip in, because we're all obviously in the same team. We all do things very slightly differently, and I just think it's so useful to get different examples from different coaches, because we're all different. Okay, so first things first, I'm going to send this in the little chat thread in a second, once we've finished this initial kickoff call. But really the whole reason for this kickoff call is that you have everything you need to know for this first week. You feel confident in what you've got to do. Hopefully by now you have had a call with your coach just to really kind of have an initial 15 to 20 minute chat to advise you of this stuff. And hopefully it's not all going to be brand new, but if it is, please don't worry. That's why we're doing this call, so that you can all start on day one on the same page. So I always like to think of your start as a new coach to really make it super simple, and feel free to take a photo of this if you want. As I say, I'm going to share it in the chat thread afterwards, but to make it simple, I don't know how your minds work, but I like to think of things like, just so I know, right, there's this box, that box, and that box. Okay, so essentially you just want to think about 3 boxes. Okay, so the first thing, and the foundation to your journey, and this will always be the case, is focusing on you and your own journey, and picking a program and sticking to it and getting the results and enjoying it and falling in love with it. Because honestly, unless you do this like a pro, you ain't going to be able to stack anything on top of it. You won't believe in what we do. You won't have the confidence to share it, because you won't have had your own results. And if you haven't had your own enjoyment with it, then you won't want to share it with other people. And that's obviously the basis of this business. So focus on this bucket as number 1, right? So we all spoke about, like, pick your program. I advise one of the 3-week programs, just purely because you want to be able to believe and see the results from a total program as they're meant to be done as quickly as possible, so that you can say, do you know what? I stuck to this for 3 weeks. I've got amazing results. And I can again say very confidently that the girls that do that and they follow the ultimate portion fix, which hopefully your coach has just discussed with you, it's the nutrition program. You follow that fitness program and you have your Shakeology every single day. You are going to wholeheartedly believe in it. You're going to love it, and you are going to get the most insane results, and you're going to feel the best you've ever felt. And honestly, for me as a new coach, and certainly for Charlotte and Joe, I know the same was true of them. Those guys initially really just started for the program, as did I. They got amazing results, and their success has followed as a result of them doing this, okay? Believing in it, really loving it, feeling their own results. and honestly, organically and passionately sharing it. What we do should never be about hard selling somebody anything. It should come from the heart. And hopefully you've seen that with the way that we lead this team, with the way that we share passionately on social media. Okay. So bucket number 2 is to start your training. And for the next 4 weeks, on a Monday, we are going to have these calls at 8 p.m. UK time, 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern time. Really just to kind of run alongside the training that you are going to be doing self-paced in the Beachbody Champions page. And hopefully you have received your email from your coach just with the link to that Facebook page that you can request access. And the reason why we use that is because it is renowned as the very best training in the network. I used to have my own that I would run people along, and I went through it and I said to myself, do you know what? This is literally the best. It's so easy. The coaches that follow it see unbelievable success. And why are we going to reinvent the wheel if we've just got the most amazing training there to deliver? So you're going to start your training. And what I always say to my new girls, regardless of whether you work full-time or part-time or you're a full-time mum, whatever the circumstance, aim to set aside the time. You may have to get up earlier, you may have to go to bed earlier to complete 1 unit a day, and try to keep pace with that. And the reason why we say that is that this business is obviously built on you focusing on your own journey. You're going to do stuff with your business every day, and then focusing on your own mindset growth. And the quicker that we can get you to match those things together and build that habit, the quicker you're going to find your kind of patter with it. And obviously once you found a habit, you become more disciplined, you become more motivated, and the rest, it just makes it a lot easier. Okay. So once you have finished unit 3, Sarah, Jo, Charlotte, and I have asked that you let us know. And at that point, you will get another call with us. And really, that's just because we want to see you guys being accountable to your own journey. Okay. This is not like being self-employed and having a boss that's like there for you every step of the way, every second of the day. Ultimately, we are there for you. We lead the team. We deliver amazing training. But it is really fundamental to be your own leader in your journey. And the quicker that you can kind of keep pace and have your own self-discipline with your journey, the more successful you're going to be. And that's going to be a quality that you'll need in this business. So for me personally, like, I think I've had 2 one-on-ones with my coach my whole entire coach career. Certainly didn't have a call like this. And I always say that my success was based on the fact that actually personally I was dropped in the deep end and I just had to figure it out. And I did over time. It didn't happen yesterday. It takes time. But yeah. Personal development. This is really important. It is just so fundamental. And I know when I started, I was like, what even is personal development? I don't need a self-help that, you know, I've had a 10-year corporate career. I was a director at the age of 30. Like, what a load of rubbish. I don't need help with my mindset. And that was a really like closed mindset that I had. I was literally like your least coachable coach. Very blunt, very stubborn. I typically am quite stubborn in life. But what I have learned is that actually this personal development, listening to a personal development book every single day of the year, is the reason why I've come so far. It's the reason why I've not given up. It's the reason why I haven't let fear get in the way. It's the reason why I don't worry about what other people think. This has changed my mindset from the subconscious upwards. And we all have limiting self-beliefs that we're going to need to work on. And we're all going to have different ones. But without this, you won't see any success. And I always say, if you're going to skip one of these 2, skip your workout and do this. Because 90% of your success will be based on your mindset. So I'm just going to move on. I'm going to share each one of these slides, and then I'm going to ask Jo and Charlotte to just share anything that they want to share, just so that we've got, you know, like kind of full circle view. So today, and I say today because I was the girl that did not take a before photo. Our coaches said, take a before photo. And I was like, oh, I really hate the way I look. I really don't want to do one of those transformation photos. And I'm not going to take a before photo. So I didn't. And I didn't take one for about a week. And I was doing the 3-week program. And even my results for 2-week transformation were insane, but I have forever kicked myself for not having taken that photo on day 1. Because literally when you look around and you see how come you far, not only are you going to be so proud of yourself, you're going to believe in yourself, but you're going to say, oh my goodness, I can't even believe the results I've got from a home workout program. Okay. As I said, like on the initial slide, stick to your workout program like glue. Like literally you don't want to veer off that, because if you can't have confidence in following a program yourself and you don't show up for yourself, then you certainly won't have any confidence in wanting to help other people if you can't follow it. So it has to be something that you put on autopilot, i.e. it's non-negotiable. I suggest you guys look at your diaries as we've said, like this is built to work for anybody. Only you know when that workout's going to work for you each day. And yes, you may well need to get out of bed 30 minutes earlier. That is a given. But I promise you, you're not going to feel it after a while. You'll just be so used to getting up at that time to get your workout done. And follow the Beachbody Guide to Nutrition like glue. Like now we have the ultimate portion fix included. That is, you know, there's a few videos. And as I said to one of our new coaches yesterday, don't expect to be able to follow ultimate portion fix tomorrow. Like there's quite a few videos, just as long as you are ensuring that you're moving through those videos that are on the Beachbody On Demand platform. And I always say, look at that platform on either a laptop or a tablet. If you're trying to navigate it on your phone, it's going to be very, very difficult to work out where the tabs are. There's a program materials tab with all of the stuff to support it. And it's truly incredible. Not counting calories, not going on diets. This is a healthy, sustainable lifestyle change that will see your body change permanently without feeling like you're depriving your body or you're on a diet, which was my massive issue all of my adult life. Have your superfood every day, okay? And the most common thing that I see with people is they're like, yeah, well, I've had it 3 days this week. And I just literally say, if you're going to have it 3 days in a week, your body does not have the ability to build up those micronutrients, those vitamins, those minerals in your body for you to really be able to feel the difference. And it's going to take a couple of weeks for you to really feel the difference. But again, it's going to be fundamental for you to have that every day so that you can feel the total solution and believe in that. So literally 2 weeks down the track, I just literally couldn't remember the last time I had felt that good when I started. And so that was one of the reasons I was so passionate about it, because I just felt like I was alive again. It sounds super cheesy, but I literally just had so much energy. Share your journey, okay? And we are going to ask you to post 2 to 3 video clips of your workout each day. Okay, and I know that's terrifying. When I started, I didn't even know how to flip the video on my iPhone to face me. Like, don't like look at some of us and think, well, they've obviously never had to figure it out. We all have. Like, I was literally a dinosaur. I was like, what? You can turn the video to face you and then hit record? Like, that's weird. So I was literally figuring that out as I went. I have to be honest, the first couple of days, I don't think I even did that, because I was like, oh, am I supposed to be sharing workout clips? You want to be giving people a glimpse from day one of what you're doing, because right now you have the most powerful ability to influence people because you are at the start of their journey. And so guess what? They can see a part of themselves in you. And if you don't get the courage to share from the beginning of your journey, not only are you doing them a massive disservice, you're going to find it so much more difficult to help people who would be amazing for this. And then you're going to wonder why they don't want your help, because they haven't been let in from the beginning. And this, like, trust me, if you start sharing today and you start doing this stuff, even if you're terrified, I can promise you you'll hit Success Club this month, which I'm going to go on and share what that is in a second. Also do 1 or 2 video to camera stories, just sharing how you're feeling. And I say, like, to new coaches, like, I remember doing my first videos and I nearly didn't do them because I was like, I just can't talk to this camera. This is so weird. I feel so uncomfortable. Like, what an idiot. Like, who would even want to see what I have to say? Okay. And now I love doing it because I love letting people in and sharing vulnerabilities and letting people know that you're human too, and ultimately helping people, right? That's what we're doing here. So the easiest way you can build connection with somebody is via video, because it's the closest interaction we have to actually flesh to flesh interaction, which of course is the most impactful in life. So just think about that when you're scared about doing it, that actually people really need to see that. And the reason why I say just share how you're feeling after your workout is, honestly, it's the easiest time to do it. You've just done a workout, you're typically feeling quite good, endorphins have been released, you've got some good energy, okay? And it could just be like, wow, I can't believe I've just, done that workout, didn't think I'd make it through, super proud of myself, it's easier than I think, whatever. But right now you are the most relatable you are ever going to be as a coach. So lap it up and do not fall short on this as a new coach. This is literally gold dust. It is your key to success, I promise you. So I'm just going to unmute Charlotte and Joe and just ask if they want to share. Like, you might have to unmute yourselves. Just share like anything you want to share.
Yeah, I would just say, like, if you need any help with sort of doing the video clips, because I'm a typical dinosaur. I literally record all of my workout, and then I sit down afterwards with my Recover Shake and literally just clip little bits of it and put it up, and then I put it onto an app. And it used to take me forever, but now it's literally like a 5-minute job after I've done each workout. So it does come quite easy, and there are some really simple little sort of apps and tricks to do it. I know everybody does it differently, but I'm happy to help any of my coaches if you need any help with that. Yeah. Charlotte?
I want to say as well, like, don't honestly be scared of the video. Like, seriously, like, I remember recording my video and sending it to Izzy and saying, is this okay? Oh my God, what on earth? I was in my spare room where I am now, absolutely sweating. I recorded it about 15 times. The more I was recording it, the more stressed I was getting. And I just sent it to Izzy and was like, what is this? Like, is this okay? And she literally replied saying, get it on your stories, like, it's perfect. And it was when I was announcing my boot camp. Now, I'd shared some visuals for my boot camp that I'd made and not really had much interest, not really had much engagement. I went on my stories and went, right, guys, I'm going to be taking on 4 girls for this boot camp, do it with me. I enrolled 4 girls in 2 days, and I just never ever expected that was going to happen. I feel like when you just put yourself out there, you think people are going to think the worst of you, but they will just absolutely respect you for putting yourself out there. And if anyone's got anything bad to say about you, it's just because they don't have the confidence to do what you're doing. And it genuinely will become easier. I don't even think about it now when I go on my stories. I look forward to going on and chatting to everybody. And it genuinely, that is how you build trust. It's how you build connections with people, and just don't be scared of it. It'll come with personal development. It'll come with trust in the process. It'll come with your belief in what we do, and it'll come with your excitement as well, like, about it. And when you are launching a boot camp, you'll realize you want to get on and talk about it and stuff like that. So just go all in for it, guys. Like, I'm here for you as well. Like, my coaches, I'm here for you. And if you've got any questions, like, don't be afraid to put it in the little group chat we've got, or to reach out to your coaches, and just go for it. This is fun. This is super fun, and that's the main thing we want you guys to have, is just to have fun.
Yeah. And if you've got any questions on anything throughout this next month, just drop us a message, drop me a message. I know independently with all of my coaches, I'll be checking in with you quite regularly. But yeah, there are like little apps we use and things like that, and we'll be sharing those in the thread. But again, the more that you can share your questions in the group thread, the more beneficial it's going to be for you, but also for other people. And it's that community thing. So try not to be afraid of, like, what's everyone going to think when I ask this question? Like, just think, do you know what? I'm asking this question. Probably someone else is too scared to ask it. So I'm just going to ask it in here, because actually we're a community and we're working together. Fran just asked a question about, this is for Instagram. Like, mainly, it really depends, like, how you operate. You may operate more on Facebook, you may operate more on Instagram. Personally, I really operate in Instagram. My Instagram account is linked to my Facebook, so any story that goes into Instagram will automatically load to Facebook, and the same for my posts. But to start with, I did not want to post it on Facebook at all. I did not want any of my friends knowing what I was doing in there, and it took me a long time. Okay, so this is just for your stories. And remember, or maybe you might not even know, I certainly didn't when I started, the video clips are 15 seconds long. It's literally what I asking you to do 2 to 3 video clips of your workout. You can put them in an app called Unfold, which we will share afterwards. Unfold is incredible. I think it's a free app. And then just share a couple of video clips at the end, like how you're feeling. Like, it's literally 30 seconds to really share. Hold on. Yeah, perfect. Thanks, Charlotte. That's amazing. No, okay, and I can't actually see. So moving on. So as I said on that first slide, like, literally, I cannot impress upon you enough, if you aren't willing to do this every day, the coaching won't work for you, okay? You are moving into a territory you have probably never, ever embarked upon. You're probably feeling very scared, very worried. You're scared of failure. You're scared of what other people think. You know, it's all new, and it can be so easy to go, do you know what? I can't do this. This isn't for me, because fear tells us we need to be in a comfort zone, because fear is not a safe place to be, and we're leaving the pack, right? That's what it is in the subconscious mind from, like, tribal times, right? But if we don't do this personal development that's really going to work on that stuff, then when it comes to sharing all of this stuff, it's going to be really, really impossible. And I can promise you, I was the girl that literally probably needed 30 minutes of personal development every day. I'd never done it in my life. And my own personal growth, and certainly like looking at every coach in my team, has been as a result of this. The 2 books that I've put on here are 2 that, you know, I've shared in coach academies before, and they really run amazingly together. You Are a Badass by Jen Sincero is a book that I recommend all new coaches to listen to for personal development, for mindset growth, because I believe it's a great foundational book, and I've seen really fantastic kind of results with people's shift in mindsets from that book. And then I would just say, if you can, please download this book, Get Over Your Damn Self. It is the book that I started listening to at the same time as this one in Audible. I would literally just snip like 5 minutes if I was in the car, even like just putting my makeup on, whatever the case may be. This really helps you do the stuff that we're going to ask you to do in terms of the professional stuff, like building your business. And she really outlines it from the start, and it is incredible. So I would just say, if you can, get both and trust us on that. Charlotte, Jo, do you want to add anything?
Yeah, I mean, obviously not all books are for everyone, but these 2 are very, very specific to sort of getting you started. I read You Are a Badass first, and that really, I mean, I've probably got about 8 different books now that I've gone through, but yeah, massive mind shift from reading that, especially when you've had like your confidence knocked, or like for me, I was absolutely petrified of going online and sharing what I was doing. I was so nervous, but this just sort of, and I was really worried about what everyone would say about me. And I don't even give it a second thought anymore from a few months in of reading these books. So it's so powerful and really, really important.
Yeah, I agree, guys. These books are absolutely incredible. Personal development is absolutely opened my eyes to a whole different world that I didn't even know was there. All these motivational speakers, these books, this personal development, this positive mindset, it's key. And like the mindset shift I've had in the last 6 months is crazy. I just wish I'd had this in my life sooner, and I don't go a day without doing some sort of personal development now. So get into the habit now. It feels weird at first, it does feel a bit strange. You're probably sitting there now thinking that'll never work for me, that was me. And now I just live and breathe it. So just trust us, go for it, just work on it every day. And if you need to hold yourself accountable to it, send it to your coach, how much you've read that day, how much you've listened to, post it in your boot camps or in our boot camp or whatever, so we can see that you are doing it. But 100% do it. It's super interesting.
Yeah. And that actually put something here. 90% of your success will be based on your personal growth, which comes from the mind, then the body, not the other way around. And I don't know, we've probably got girls here that are real gym girls or fitness girls, or maybe you've done like bodybuilding in the past, and I'm sure we do, because that's the kind of people we attract. And that was me. And so I'd always been that girl that just like, I'd get really stressed at work and I just work on my body. And actually I was only like scratching so far beneath the surface. And this whole new world just basically helped me work out all my frustrations, all my difficulties, all my lack of confidence in life. I can promise you it will just shift the way you think. It's an eye-opener. It's amazing. So the training, as I said on the initial slide, make your way through the Beachbody Champions page training. The videos are really quite short. Some are longer than others, but try to do 1 unit per day minimum. I appreciate for some of you guys, like for example, Charlotte, she works night shifts as a nurse. You might want to stack 3 units together at the weekends. Like I know I've got someone on here who is probably going to do that, and that's totally fine. But I think it's just really important to try and sediment that working my fitness, nutrition, my business every single day, because that's the way that this business ultimately is going to work. It's built to build on the side of a full-time job. And so the more that you can just build in those small little routines now, and I would say hand on heart, we don't really want you to be spending more than an hour in total on this every day. So you do your workout and then do your training and personal development, and you should be able to fit it into an hour of your time, maybe slightly more, but really shouldn't be anything more than that at this stage, because you shouldn't need to. And then once you finish unit 3, arrange a one-on-one with your coach, just really so that we know where you're up to on that training, so we can start helping you get your boot camp set up, work out when you're going to start it, and just advise you on that, so that we are just delivering bits of training at the right time, but also so that you're accountable to that goal, right, that you want to finish unit 3 by kind of Thursday this week ideally, so that we can start helping you with the next bit. Charlotte, Joe, do you want to add anything?
No, I don't think so.
No, that's fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect. So, I always share this on the new coach call, because you'd be really surprised how quickly, you know, if you start doing this, as Charlotte and Joe were just saying as well, like you start sharing from day one, all of a sudden you are likely, if you are going to share it from day one, 2-3 days in, I can guarantee a friend or family member is going to say, what are you doing and how can I do it with you? Like, it just happens. And then, you know, I used to not share this because I didn't want to overwhelm you, but then I've got people saying, how do I actually enroll them? And it is shared in the Beachbody Champions training, but I just wanted to share briefly here, just so that you guys know. When you enroll a customer or a coach, just ensure that you enroll them with a challenge pack. That is what you've enrolled with. In the month of November, it is £140 or $140, so it's incredible value. And the reason why you do that is that 80% of their results are going to come from the nutrition program, the superfood, okay? 20% is the workouts. And sometimes I have people saying, oh, well, they just want to do the workouts. Well, that's okay, but ultimately we really aren't going to be able to help them. And certainly I've learned from experience that when I have just enrolled people with the workouts, they don't get the results, they don't have that accountability, they aren't all in and they fall off, okay? So really, that needs to be what we enroll them with. Share a Cart is found in your coach office. Hopefully you guys have managed to find it. There is also an app, which I'm just going to show you on the screen, but it is called BB Links. It is a blue app. I don't know whether you guys can see it. I'll screenshot it at the end. You might be able to see it there in the top there. It's called BB Links. And it actually leads you straight through to Share a Cart. And I can tell you, any Share a Cart that I send to anybody is always sent off my phone, so that I can immediately then copy and paste that link. You want to copy and paste the link to the person to get them to confirm they're going to enroll. But if you do get somebody that wants to enroll, please don't try to do this whole process on your own. Just let your coach know and we will guide you through it step by step, okay? So don't be scared to kind of start sharing it because you don't know what to do when they say they want to enroll, because we will guide you through it. So I know that for some people push people away because they actually don't want them to enroll yet. So just don't worry. We know exactly how to help you guys. Oh, sorry, Charlotte, Joe, do you want to add anything?
No, that's fine.
Yeah. So this is what we're going to ask you to do when you've completed unit 3, and we're only going to ask you to do this once you have completed unit 3, because ultimately I don't believe in overwhelming you coaches. I don't believe in doing something until it's necessary. But really, you know, the first thing that you're going to do once you're a little way through your training is set up your own group, your own boot camp. Hopefully you guys are all in our No Excuses November group now, so that you can just get a little bit of an understanding of what kind of things we post in there. Ginny does the daily check-ins. The Beachbody On Demand bod groups function is incredible for new coaches. And whilst we use the Facebook group a lot, and that's totally up to you, what I do advise most coaches to do for their first group is just do it on Beachbody On Demand. Keep it simple. If you enroll anybody, you've then created this group where you're just going to do check-ins with them. You're going to share your workouts and things like that, and just engage with them. And don't worry about, oh, well, you know, my group's nothing like Charlotte's, Izzy's and Joe's, and I don't have enough people. I started my first bod group with 2 people. I had 2 people, and I just made sure that I looked after them. It doesn't mean that you can't join our group. But what I can tell you is that the coaches that will see success in this business are the coaches that set up and lead their own groups from the beginning, because you are taking accountability for being your own leader to those people. And that is going to build confidence, self-belief, and understanding, okay? And without doing that and leaning on our groups, you are only ever going to make it so far. I promise you. Every single girl on this call, Charlotte, Joe, Sarah, who are doing well in this business, from day one, they set up their own groups. They didn't really know what they were doing, but they trusted the process, and they've learned and grown because of it. I'll also share briefly, I think it's covered in the Beachbody training, but if you do 21-day fix, I strongly advise you to then lead them through a 21-day fix program, because you're going to be confident with it. There is a whole scheduling thing with Beachbody On Demand groups, which means that if you're super busy, Beachbody will schedule out your post for you for the check-in for the program that they're following, which is honestly a godsend when you're working full time. I would just say use Canva. You guys probably have never heard of Canva. If you have, great. If not, fine. I definitely hadn't. Canva for your visuals. Again, when you reach that point, please let your coach know. I have visuals I can share with you from my past boot camp, so you can use some of the wording. Joe, Charlotte, Anno, Sarah will also be really happy to share anything that we've used. And again, if you've got any questions on it, or you want to see tools that we've used, just let us know. Set a start date for it and invite into it. Again, it's like setting a goal without a target. If you set up a boot camp and you don't have a start date, guess what? You aren't going to be that motivated to try to find people. You're going to feel scared. You're going to feel like, oh my goodness, but what if I get no one? That was exactly how I felt. But it's what motivated me to say, do you know what, Izzy? You're going to get 2 people into this boot camp, because there is no way you are going to have this boot camp start on X date with no one in it. And it put a rocket up my backside. And I did get those people in there. And then you're going to invite them into it, which I'll go on to in a second. Charlotte, Joe, do you want to share anything?
Yeah, I would just say that, you know, I had people that I was signing up and I hadn't even set up my group, and I had to very sort of slapdash set it up. And I set the bod group, setting up the bod group part of it was so easy. I didn't do a Facebook group. I literally did it on Beachbody On Demand. And yeah, and then it just makes it so easy just to invite people in there from as you sign them up. So yeah, you definitely should definitely do that.
Just say as well, like when I announced my boot camp with a date, spoke with Izzy, I spoke with Ross, I was like, how many spaces should I do? And we decided on 4, because if you have like 4 spaces, people will get the FOMO of the fear of missing out. And when you put a cut-off date on it as well, people will think they'll have a sudden urgency that they want to do it. And I remember Ross saying to me, like, what if you don't fill 4 spaces? This was right back in April. And I was like, oh, I'll just have to just get on with it. And I filled 4 spaces. So if you set yourself a target, set yourself a date, it's super easy. We are all here to help you as well. Like, don't be scared. Setting up your boot camp is fun. You do it your way, and then as soon as you have even one person in there with you, you've got someone to show up for every day, and it just makes it super fun, and you'll just go from there. So don't be scared of setting up your own boot camp.
Yeah, I love that. So true what Charlotte just said as well. So the invites, there's a scripts section. You might want to write this down or take a photo. It's in the file section in our team page. But again, if you want to start actively inviting people, you're going to likely do that when you finish Unit 3, at which point you're going to get on a call with your coach anyway. And at which point I will generally share exactly what I'm using as an invite for that period of time with you. Again, we don't want to completely overwhelm you with loads of stuff right now. I'd rather you literally look at the staircase, take it one step at a time, and us guide you through and give you the stuff as you need it, instead of like completely bombard you and then you're all going to feel completely overwhelmed. So there's a method in our madness. But this thing here is the single one thing that will determine your success over the next 3 months. I can hand on heart promise you that when my coach said to me, write 100 names of people you know that you could invite to your boot camp when you've set it up and when you've done a little bit of your training, I literally turned around and I was like, I don't know 100 people. And she was like, that is rubbish. How many friends have you got on Facebook? Because ultimately, and this is where the mindset comes in, guess what happens when we sit down and we ask you to write a list of 100 names? This is exactly what everyone will do, me included, as a new coach. Oh no, I can't ask that person. Nah, they won't be interested. Oh no, I can't ask that person. That's way too awkward. No, they'll probably think I've gone crazy. Can't ask that person, right? So you automatically have decided for them that they're not going to be interested. And I can promise you one thing that I've learned the hard way, and I'm sure Joe and Charlotte will share. The people that you least expect are often the people that you don't then invite, and they approach you and go, hey, Izzy, what are you doing? And you're like, damn, I am such an idiot. I made an assumption. And one of my favorite phrases is, assume makes an ass out of you and me. And it's so true. So don't make any assumptions about anyone. The thing that, I can't even remember which book it was where I learned this, but they said, somebody could tell you that they're not interested 2 weeks ago, and in 2 weeks later, when you just check in to see whether or not they're still interested, their whole world could have changed. They could have eaten way too much over lockdown, and suddenly they've reached that tipping point where they really need to do something, and you're too scared to reach out because you've assumed that it won't be of interest to them. You will be so surprised. And I think the more that you can take your emotion out of this process, write 100 names, literally speak to your coach, get an invite when your boot camp's up and ready to go, which of course it isn't yet, so don't get overwhelmed by that, and literally ping out the invite, put their names in, off you go. Like, I can promise you that is going to be what sets up your business for the next 3 months. Every single coach or customer that I enrolled in my first 3 months as a coach were people that I knew or friends of friends. You are very, very unlikely to help somebody in your cold market within your first 3 months, because you're building trust, okay? And if you do help people in your cold market, amazing. You've obviously got a great skill set, like Sarah, I know, has very much helped like people she doesn't know, but she's done network marketing in the past. So just trust us that we don't expect you to be able to help people you don't know for a long time, but you have to be willing to help your friends and friends of friends and your family. At least tell them what you're doing. And you know, if you're letting them into your Instagram page and you're sharing what you're doing, chances are then by the time you ask them, they've got a sense of what you're doing a bit, and they're probably waiting for you to ask them, because they're like, what are you doing? Can I do it too? So what you're then going to do, and this is something we will cover specifically on another call, but just so that you've got kind of the grounds and basis for understanding how this kind of training is going to roll out, you will get a highlighter pen, 2 different highlighters, and you will highlight that person's name as to whether or not you think they'd be a good customer, i.e. somebody in the bootcamp, or actually someone that wants to build the business with you as a coach, okay? We host info sessions once a month, much like the ones you've seen. So all you're going to do when you've got someone that's interested in coaching potentially is just invite them into that session. You really don't need to share much more than, do you want to learn more about what I'm doing? Great, I'll get you into that group. Charlotte, Joe, do you want to add anything?
Yeah, I would just say, like, going back to the 100 names, I think I had about 170 friends on Facebook, you know, male and female. And I just, I went through and made my list, all female. But before I'd even sent out any invites, I had already had 5 people like approach me, which were friends of mine on Facebook that had been watching what I'm doing. And they were people that I would never, ever, I would have really hesitated to have sent them an invite. I mean, you know, they were friends on Facebook. I hadn't spoken to some of them for a few years even. And so it's just amazing the people that do actually watch you. And I actually signed up 2 people last month who, again, are from my friends on Facebook, who both said to me, we've been watching you since you started, and they've only just dived in after sort of 5 months. So, you know, trust the process. People are always watching, even if they don't answer you, or you know, you think that they're not going to be interested. They are. They just has to be the right time for them. So
yeah. And just really quickly, just whilst it's in my head, sorry, Charlotte, the invite is a seed sown. And as Joe's just shared, do not, the biggest thing that is the hardest thing as a new coach is rejection. People saying, no, that's not for me. No, I'm not interested. No. And we just think, oh my goodness, I'm absolutely awful at this. This is horrific. But what you learn is that 90% of the response, if not more, is going to be no or not right now. That does not mean they're not going to be interested. It just means they're not ready just yet. And it is a seed sown. So maybe write that on a post-it. An invite is a seed sown, because they are then watching you. You have made them aware. They might not join you for a month. They might not join you for 2. They might not join you for 5, as Joe said. So I had a girl who's a new coach. In fact, she's not on the call right now. She's joined me after a year. I shared the opportunity with her 18 months ago, you know, so they are watching. And if you are consistent and you love what you're doing, they're going to join you. And I just want to share, like, actually probably haven't put enough emphasis on it. Joe, without question, had people reaching out to her because she was consistent. She actually wasn't even coaching, but she decided to share her journey from day one. She let people in. She shared a couple of stories. She did a few posts, and she got the most unbelievable transformation. She was proof that this shit works. Sorry, excuse my language, but she really was. And people could see that. They could not only see the mental change, they could see the physical change. And so it was easy. It is easy. This business is easy if we follow those strategies and we follow that nutrition and we follow those workouts. And, you know, I know that's what gave Jo the confidence to be where she is now. She's just absolutely smashing it. She's doing so well. Sorry, Charlotte.
No, it's all right. I wasn't going to really say it. You've covered everything. So.
Yeah. Okay, cool. But don't worry, this list you don't need to make immediately. This is after you finished Unit 3, okay? So if you want to make it earlier, great. But if not, don't worry. So in your social media, you are going to show up every day. Okay. And that is going to need to be a non-negotiable. As a coach doing this as a side business, you need to let people into your life a little bit, because as Jo said, Charlotte said, it builds trust. Okay. You need to do a post every day. And what I'm going to do after this call is send an example document of kind of ideas for posts. What you want to ensure is that every post is not about fitness. Every post is not about your new journey. Every post is not about you and your workout gear, because ultimately, if you think about, would you want to follow you? You'd probably get pretty bored if all that person was posting about was fitness, nutrition, and their journey. And I know as a new coach, that's really hard, because perhaps you haven't been used to sharing anything in your life. And so you just want to share the fitness piece. And I totally get it. And it won't happen overnight. And it is going to be a continuous journey and process. As you evolve and change and you build in confidence, you'll share more. But don't force it either. I would just say, like, it took me a long time to share bits of my personal life. Certainly my son, I wasn't used to sharing anything, any photos of my son, anything like that. Felt really weird. But what you realize is that actually when you share your life over and above fitness, that's where people build connection and trust with you. And without that, there is not going to be any success. Okay. So start to think about what makes you you. Maybe you love gin and tonic. Maybe you love country walks. Maybe you're an ex-corporate girl. Like, that's me, right? I love fashion. I'll put like ones in my nice clothes up sometimes. So just start to think about, on rotation, if you do 2 or 3 posts a week about fitness and nutrition, about your journey, what are the other 4 going to be about? And you can do a little avatar circle, just put your name in the middle and just put some spider legs coming out. Like, what makes you you? Do you love reading? Do you love wine? Do you like traveling? So 10 minimum stories a day. And I know as a new coach, for me, I was like, whoa, I've never done a story in my life. I don't even know how to do a story. 10 stories, that's crazy. Okay. Each story is 15 seconds long. It doesn't need to be all put up at the same time. 3 of those clips are going to be of your workout. So you just little 15-second clips. Use the app Unfold, and you're just going to share what's happened afterwards. 1 is going to be nutrition. So it's just going to be you following that healthy eating, whether it's your porridge or your salad or your healthy meal in the evening, like whatever just shows people how it works for you. And as you build your confidence with Ultimate Portion Fix, you'll be able to share more. So don't expect to be able to share like, I know how this system works inside out tomorrow, because you're not going to know tomorrow. And as I said, like 1 or 2 videos to camera of you talking about what it is you're doing and how it's changing your life, right? People don't want to know what you're doing. They don't want to know what you're doing. They want to know WIIFM. What's in it for me? Okay. And if they can relate to your story and how it's benefiting you, that is where you're going to help people. Not, this is my nutrition. Great. This is my workout, right? How is it benefiting you? What is in it for them? Okay. Because the benefit that you're feeling is most likely the benefit that person doesn't have and they're looking for. Okay. That's just so important. Your life in general. So just do 1 of, like, I don't know, earlier on, it's so hard in lockdown, honestly, to share your life in general, because it's all pretty boring right now, or certainly that's how I feel. But I was like, I just shared my Costa coffee, that I'd just been out of the house, or, you know, or the fact that our boiler's been leaking. I mean, it's so boring, but you know, people, they want to be let into your life a little bit. They want to see what your day's looking like. So let them in at the weekends. If you go on a family walk, or you know, you like cooking a roast at the weekend because this is a flexible lifestyle, then share that. You know, maybe you love gin and tonic. Like, I love gin and tonic. A lot of us on our team love gin and tonic. Just let them in. Like, I always try to share boomerang of me just being a normal person, which is watching Netflix in the evening, like to show that I'm not just, I don't work all day and all night. And share your superfood. So that is when your Shakeology arrives. We're going to share some recipes with you. So again, when you get your package, if it hasn't arrived already, let your coach know, and we will send you some recipes. And that's 10 stories. So maybe just take a photo of this slide. But I promise you, this doesn't need to take you a lot of time. And as Jo said, like, to start with, to film her workouts, she was like, oh my God, this is going to take forever, which was exactly how I felt about this whole thing. But I was working 3 jobs and had a child in childcare just 2 mornings a week when I started. So I really didn't have the time, and it needed to be quick, and you just get quicker. The one post every day, I just realized I messed this out, but make sure you do a minimum of 28 hashtags. And again, you are going to learn this through experience. Don't expect to know exactly what hashtags to use, you know, tomorrow, but think about, what kind of person am I, right? You want to attract your person. You really want to think about, okay, cool, I'm doing this post. Who is my person? Am I a dog mom? Am I, you know, I do like women empowering women, feminist, career mum, career girl, corporate girl. That's the kind of girl I am, right? Fitness mum, female personal trainer. That's me. But obviously for a lot of you, that won't be you. So just look into those hashtags a bit. That probably will be something to do at the weekend, just 10-15 minute task, just to look at hashtags. But make sure you use them, because that's how people find you, and that's how you're going to build your following and find your people. Jo, Charlotte, do you want to add anything?
Yeah, I mean, for hashtags, I use an app. It's called #expert, and you literally just put in 2 hashtags, and then it will find all of the hashtags with the same sort of category for you, and it does them in blocks of 30. You can actually have 30 hashtags on a post. I don't know if you know that. So yeah, so I would just put in like dog. I normally put in something like mum on a mission, or mum of girls, and you know, like corporate girl to corporate fitness, or something like that. And then it just finds you like 15 from each category, and you literally just copy the whole lot and paste it onto your post. And that's what I do every single day with mine.
What's it called, Jo? That sounds awesome. I didn't know about that one.
#expert.
#expert. How awesome.
Yeah.
Love it.
I think I pay like, I think it's like £4 a month for it, but the amount of time it saves me. And sometimes they put random ones in there, so I just delete them and replace them with something I want to. But the majority of the time, it just puts them all in the category, and you just copy and paste them onto your post. Yeah.
Oh, Yvette's put, there's a free one called Hashme.
Yeah, I mean, you can go on to Google and just put in hashtags, and then there'll be websites where you just put in the search box and just copy and paste them. But yeah. So
I've never even thought to do that. That's why you want to have like different people in the team helping you out, because we all know different things and we all do things differently. So just that's something very useful there. Thanks, Jo.
No worries.
Charlotte, did you want to add anything? Or
no, just share your day as it happens. That's how I find works well for me. The first thing I do on a morning is look at some positive quotes. So I put some positive quotes on my story. I come to my desk, I do my personal development, I do my gratitude, that goes on my story. Then it's onto my fitness, and then it's my videos and my workout videos. Then it'll be my breakfast or my lunch. Then it'll be so just as your day goes, just get in the habit of just sharing it on your stories, and before you know it, 10 stories will just be like that. Like it can go so quick. Don't worry about it. Don't think it's a lot, because if you boomerang or put on your stories quite a lot of your day, it'll just go so quick. Even if it's like how many steps you've done, if you've drank your 2 liters of water, like anything, like if you're sitting in the house with your pooch, like literally anything, just whatever, like just don't be afraid to share it. Don't be afraid to share things that aren't fitness, because that just makes you so much more relatable. I was in that trap, and I was just fitness, and then got sort of stuck that I couldn't share things about myself. And since I have been sharing stuff about myself, my connections and my relatability is just, it's completely changed. So definitely just your fitness is just a small part of obviously what we do. So just share your whole day and just go for it.
Yeah, I completely agree. And when you do your post, maybe write these 3 words. In fact, do write these 3 words down: inspire, educate, motivate. Okay, as long as it's doing one of those three things generically, really doesn't matter, guys. Could be about anything. Like, you want to be who you are, you want to be different, you don't want to be like every other coach out there, you want to be yourself. And again, I know that for me, like, I don't think I really knew who I was when I came out my corporate career. I'd been in that bubble from the age of 21. Like, I was completely lost, and I was really finding my feet in the world as a new mum who really didn't know who she was, what her purpose was, right? And luckily I found it through coaching, and it's been incredible. But with anything that you do, inspire, educate, or motivate, and if you can tell a story in some capacity, the engagement you'll get will be incredible, because people love a story. Okay, so not a made up story, like a real story about you or a scenario. I mean, you could make it up, but I think people might see through it. HIT Success Club. Okay, I don't want to keep you guys like for longer than an hour, so I'm just going to try and get through this quite quickly now. Your aim, okay, is to smash your program, smash your nutrition, listen to your personal development, do your Beachbody Champions training, and your minimum goal has to be to hit Success Club in your first full month. Of course, we are approaching the end of November, okay? So make that your December goal. If you do it in November, bloody great. I doubt anyone here will do it, but people have, okay? So make it a minimum goal. Set it out there into the universe. You'll probably think I'm all crazy, but energetically, it is so true. If you have set yourself on a goal and you make it a non-negotiable in your mind, even if you guys don't know how you're going to do it, because ultimately, probably none of you are going to know how you're going to help through people, aside from the fact you're going to write your list of 100 and invite them. That will be Success Club right there. I promise you, if you ask 100 people, that will be Success Club right there. So long as you get the results and ultimately you love the process and you embrace it. If you hit Success Club 3 out of your first 6 months, you are a Success Club starter, and you get access to a new coach test group that none of us will get access to. So you get access to that group as they film it with the cast. And I can tell you, I have experienced one of those groups with Morning Meltdown as they filmed, and it was one of the most incredible experiences of my whole Beachbody career so far. And it propelled my business when that launched for everybody else, okay? When I was a coach, you had to hit Success Club in the first 3 months. That was it. Success starter, either you hit Success Club your first 3 months or you're done. Like, you've missed it. So you guys have got an amazing opportunity. If you want to see success in your business, you need to make this a minimum, because it's going to give you that confidence, that belief, and that momentum that ultimately is going to have you stay the course. And there's a lot of research that's been done on coaches and their success, and the coaches that hit Success starters are really the ones that have longevity in the business and tend to do a lot better. So just make it a minimum goal for yourself and just put it out there right now. Jo, Charlotte, do you want to add anything?
No, I don't think so. That's pretty much.
No, I don't think so.
I've just reminded myself, Jo, I need to chase up Thomas about your test group thing.
All right. Yeah.
So to summarize, week 1 to complete, week 1 of 21 Day Fix, or the program you're following. Ideally it will be that or MBF. Do your coming out post. This is something I haven't discussed for the whole call. It is super simple. I'm going to share my coming out post in the thread shortly, and Jo and Charlotte will share theirs. It literally is just a photo of you, any photo, anything you want to share. Doesn't necessarily need to be you in fitness clothing, doesn't need to be you in your underwear, could be, but doesn't need to be. Just saying, like, I've started this new journey, I've started this new health and fitness journey with a group of amazing coaches or this amazing community. I can't wait to share more, that sort of thing. But I'm going to share mine in here. Don't worry if you don't get it done today, because ultimately it's almost 9 p.m. But really tomorrow, I want to see those. And we want to see you guys share those in the page. And if you don't know what to post, you're really nervous, I can promise you that first post you do is the single most nerve-wracking thing you will ever do as a coach. I literally almost didn't do it. I was like, I think I'm going to vomit. Everyone's going to think I've gone crazy. I can't do this. I can't do this. And I just sent it to my coach and said, is this okay? And she was like, yeah. And I was like, okay, I'll post it. And I shared it in my little group. So share, get ideas from the group, get support, do it, rip the Band-Aid off. And I promise you, even just doing that one thing, terrified, feeling sick, doing it anyway, you are going to gain so much confidence just from doing that one thing. And you want to ideally finish unit 5 by the end of this week. Okay, that's the goal. Okay, so really try and keep pace. 7 days of personal development, work out when in your day that's going to be, and just make a little tick list. Maybe take a photo of this and just make sure you are getting that stuff done, so that by the end of the week you can say you've done this. By the end of the week, because you will have completed unit 3 and you will have had a call with one of us midweek, you will have set up your challenge group. It will be set up. You won't have got people in it, or you might have done, but it won't like be running to start yet, but it will be set up, and you've got your list of names of people and you started to invite them. Okay. Let me just see what we had. Enjoy the journey. That is what's on my jumper. That is the motto of the team. And I can promise you, if you remember this, super cheesy, but so relevant to our team and so relevant to what we do. If you keep this in mind every step of the way and you just focus on that enjoyment for yourself, the rest of your success will follow. If you aren't enjoying it, come back to you, come back to your journey, come back to your personal development, come back to you. And I promise you that you will. Charlotte, Jo, do you want to add anything?
Yeah, I just think, I mean, don't feel pressured. You know, like I said when I enrolled you, there's no pressure here. There's no pushing. This isn't a salesy role. This is about, like it says, this is about enjoying the journey and your personal development and just sharing it. That's all it's about. And you are going to have days when you wobble. You are going to have days when you just think, oh my goodness, what am I doing? Just go back to your personal development, pick yourself up and carry on, because there's no wrong in this at all if you do it at your pace. So,
yeah.
And once you get that post out there as well, like, it's such a big relief that you don't need to hide what you're doing. You don't need to not tell anybody. It's once it's out there, you'll feel sick when you've done it. And then it's like, well, it's out there now. And then when you're inviting people, they kind of already have a little idea of what you're inviting them to as well. So yeah, like, it literally is your journey. It's your, like, there's no right or wrong way to share. All we're here to do is guide you and share what's worked well for us. But what works for us might not work for you, and it's just trial and error and seeing how you get on. But the little coach that we're in will help you so much. When you've done your coming out post, share it in the little coach group chat so that other girls get inspo and ideas of what everybody's writing, what everybody's sharing. Like, we'll share ours as well. But yeah, like, the more you engage in that pod as well, the more you guys are going to get out of it, because you're going to really get to know each other, really get to trust each other. We've not had a group this big for a while, so this is really good. The energy in here is just going to be insane. So just lean in, guys, and just enjoy it. It is a bit scary, but just don't overthink it. Just do it, and I think you'll be really pleasantly surprised at how people react. I think it'll be good.
So true. And I think, following on from what Jo and Charlotte have just said, like, this is something that I think is instilled in us, in our culture and society. We are brought up in life, not just because of our parents, it's just life in general, to never fail at anything. You mustn't fail. We can't be seen to fail. It's not any good. And the biggest thing that I can tell you I've personally learned in the 2.5 years is that the reason why I have grown in the way that I've grown, the reason why these girls have grown in the way that they've grown, is they have just been willing to fail more times. Failure does not mean it isn't success. Failure is the road to success, and failure is the road to growth. And I just want you guys to think about that with every step that you take, with every icky thing that you feel, with every mistake that you make. Failure is the path to growth, and honestly, the most unbelievable confidence and happiness. So just flip the way that you view it, because I know that was certainly a challenge for me. Has anyone got any questions? And please don't be shy. Like, if you have, just unmute yourself, or if you're too shy, just pop them in the comments and I'll try and answer them. Stunned everyone into silence.
Is it best on the Instagram to be private, or do you want it to be like where anybody can add you? Because I'm a cheerleading coach, and when I started my Instagram, it was for a personal journey for myself and to inspire women. And what I didn't want to do is, I don't want like my customer base from my cheerleading academy in on that side of my life, because I just feel as though I think that would have a negative impact on my other business, which is my main source, which is my main business.
And I think only you know the answer to that. And I think it sounds like you know the answer. And actually, it's a really good point you've just raised, because private, I would strongly advise everyone to have a public account. Again, for me, that was really difficult. I think in your case, Jane, you might want to have a different social media for it. You can chat to Jo certainly about that and just decide. Again, there's no right or wrong. Some girls will keep their main personal account, which becomes their coach page. Some will create a fitness account. Some will keep it private. That's quite rare. I think ultimately the question you've got to ask yourself is, how comfortable do I feel with this page? Is it stopping what I want to share? And if so, then I need to set up a new page, because you want to feel as though you can embrace this journey as much as possible and be as open as possible. And if you feel stilted by your page, or there's a conflict, I would say you need a different page. You can always lead people onto that page. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I set up a new page, my She's Not Perfect page, and I literally had like 20 followers when I started, and they were just a few people that I knew, and my followers are up to nearly 1,000 now. And you know, hardly any of those are my friends at all. They're all people that just organically found me through my hashtags, and are people, you know, that I want following me. So don't be afraid to set up a new page and start at zero, because it really won't take long for things to grow.
I've already got a page which I set up. Like I said, I've got my business page, which is my Cheer Academy, which I've got about 5,500 followers on that. Then I've got Coach Jane page where I'm just a coach, but that's like mainly for like the stunts and things that I do in that industry. And I've got over 1,000 followers on that page. But my Getting a Grip 50 page is where you found me, Jo. I've got like that's my private page, but I've still got nearly 400 followers on that at the minute. So that's the page where I would do this on. I would not want to do that, because I don't want the kids coming in and going, "Oh, did you see Coach Jane work?" It wouldn't be good for me in the industry, I feel, and I just wanted to know whether that would like infringe what like I'm trying to do, because I don't know. Yeah, and I know that you just got public, I would be able to reach a lot more. However, I don't feel as though like I'd want that kind of limelight on me, because this is just something that was personal for me and not for. I share enough of my life without customers knowing everything about me. Yeah, I think you've just got to go with exactly what you're comfortable with and how you feel. Yeah, exactly. It won't make any difference to your business.
Yeah, I've had to create, I mean, I don't have any experience, obviously these guys do. I've created a new one because I've got a stepson and my page is private, because obviously I'm not his parent, so I put images up, but it's on a private page. So I totally understand what you're saying, that there's certain stuff that you want to keep private. Like I do have permission, but I would need permission to be able to put those sorts of imagery up on a public page, because I'm not his mum. So I just created obviously you've done it already, but I just created like a subsident account and then just directed people on my private one. I just said, look, if you want to continue following my journey, go here. And then I've had quite a few people going across already, of people that have already kind of commented on like my weight loss and things like that anyway. So that's how I did it personally.
That's what I did as well. I set up a new Instagram for it and told my personal followers, if you want to follow it. That's and I didn't hold back at all, because everybody that was following me because they were interested, and they weren't following me because they followed me for 5 years and they didn't dare unfollow me and I was doing their heads in. They followed me in their own time. They follow me because they're interested. So then you don't hold back, then you can be unashamedly yourself, and that's when your Instagram will just build. And we can all help you build a new Instagram. If you're going to start a new Instagram, how exciting, that's amazing. So if you want to start a new page, like God, reach out to your coaches, because we'll help you 100%.
Yeah. And guys, on that note, just really finally to finish, because I don't want to keep us on all night, really quickly, people that you know and love and care about, that your friends and family a lot of them are not going to like what you're doing. So I think you just got to be ready for that. There are people that are going to make judgments they're not going to understand, and it's not going to be for everyone. Just because they're your friends, it doesn't mean they're going to love what you're doing. And I think the quicker that we can share that and you can become comfortable with that and know that that's normal, it doesn't matter. Like, I still see my school friends and all of my friends when I can, when it's not lockdown, but they're not necessarily interested in following my business, my fitness business. That's totally cool. Not a lot of people in the general population are into fitness, certainly as much as I am, or some of these guys are. So yeah, just take it like a grain of salt. So I'm going to stop